On the hunt. Drusilla is eager to get the Voidsent hunt underway. Ah, there you are. Looking deadly enough with that side to make me weak at the knees. I wager it's time we stop faffing about and make ready to hunt our targets. My Lemures have been hard at work scraping together what information they can. Let's see what they've got. Fashion said it is what they've got. Everyone here? Good. And I guess you've met. No further Chimera related incidents you'll be happy to hear. The overly chipper lass over there is Hermin. Make your acquaintances. Nods. Fist punching! As you know, our quarry is a Voidsent, and he goes by the name Orcus. He's eluded the best, but these two are a step above that. Tell us what you found. What you will, boss. Asked around about unsolved murders and disappearances, seeing if any involves someone matching the description you provided. There's as many missing people as there are grains of sand, and no shortage of tragedies either. One, however, stood out among the rest. The woodcutter in the black shroud disappeared without a trace. No body, no belongings, nothing. Not enough occurrence by itself, but the sightings of a stranger with skin pale as snow near his last known whereabouts piqued our interest. Now that's a promising start, but those woods are crawling with bandits and brigands of all sorts. Dusk rites and keepers are said to come in ghostly hues. Are we sure this man ain't one of them? As sure as I've ever been, boss. Not many bandits have eyes the colour of blood. It's a match too close to ignore. I can't gainsay that. We have a lead. If I may, boss, are you sure we need the help of this outsider? How much trouble could one Voidsent be? Well, if it's anything like Orcus and D&D, quite a freaking lot. He's a super powerful boss. I mean, she's standing right there, for God's sake. No, she's right. I've always told you to turn a wary eye to those outside the family. She's just doing her due diligence. But trust me when I say we need every advantage we can afford. I made the mistake of misjudging Orcus' strength before, and for my hubris, my family, my flesh and blood family, was slain. All of them. Was planning on holding that back a bit longer, but I, just before them years, I swore two things. I'd repay that suffering 1,000-fold, and I'd never let that bastard take anything from me again. I mean to keep my vow, and I trust I can count on you to help. That's a nice facial expression. You don't have to ask twice, boss. Your wounds are our wounds, even the ones that become scars. We'll see your vengeance wrought. All these years I've scraped to make a place for us. I look forward to the day he'd pay his dues. And it ain't just for me that we have to hunt him down either. He's a blight on Eorzea itself. The longer we let it fester, the more suffering it'll spread. We need to corner him now while we have the chance. Are you ready, Dema? You know those woods as well as any of us, and we'll need your experience if we hope to be back before supper. Nod. Much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it then. Hermin, I want you here in Uldar, keeping your ears to the ground for any news of Orcus' movements. Anagus, you lead us to where this woodcutter disappeared. What you will, boss. That'd be the central shroud, so our best course would be to set off from Bent Branch Meadows. One thing I've noticed with a lot of the quests involving going to places in Endwalker is they tend to be a little bit more specific in the dialogue about where you got to go. Which is really odd because, of course, we've got quest and map markers and stuff anyway. But I don't know, maybe that does help. Good, we made it. Before we set off, allow me to share the circumstances of our poor woodcutter's disappearance. As I heard it, he disappeared nigh on a week ago. Got lost, some surmise, but he was a seasoned woodsman, not some high-born traveller who forgot to buy a map. I questioned those closest to him. None could think of a reason he might want to make himself scarce. He'd even made plans to meet with friends not long from now, but I expect that promise will go unkept. It sounds like we can rule out a voluntary departure. I believe we can. The last person to see the man alive said he took his axe and ventured northwest. And that's where we'll set our trap. Here, Demo, take these. A Magitech transceiver and a candle that's scented like a Voidsent's favourite libation. Blood. Blood candle. Lovely. Once it's lit and the fumes are wafting through the air, every Voidsent within 30 yards will come running. If either of us sees Orcus, let's give the other a shout over the transceiver. As I said before, Orcus is inhabiting the body of a man, and he can put on an awfully convincing performance when needs must. Don't give him a chance to work his wiles, or his fangs will be in your neck before you know it. As much as I want to accompany you, I'd only be a liability in a fight. Whether you find Orcus or not, return here and I'll report back to the Lemire's. Good luck, and good hunting. Oh, I can swim. I can fly. Delicious candle. Stench of blood chokes the air, filling your nostrils with its metallic aroma. However, no ghostly fiends or slavering creatures emerge from the underbrush. If there are Voidsent nearby, they must not be hungry. This time, however... Still nothing, eh? This is going to be an automatically happens on the third one, or are they all going to be nothing? Or is this just going to be a weak ass? Drawn by the maleficent odour, a Voidsent rises from the underbrush. Though it bears no resemblance to Orcus, it eyes you with a voracious hunger. Oh, hello. What the hell are you? This is no enemy type. Or have we had these before? I don't know what they are, but it was cool. I like cool. Cool is good. Being ill isn't good. I am literally sick of being sick. Glad to see you on one piece. Now, what's that you have in your hand? A ring, apparently. I guess I must have picked that up. Huh. You said the Voidsent was carrying this. A ring. Where'd you find it? See, and there can be no doubt. The Voidsent that Demajen slew is the very same one that murdered our woodcutter. Murdered? You saying? Aye, while I was searching for a place to set my trap, I spotted a shallow grave, hastily dug and poorly hidden. Under a thin layer of dirt was a body matching the description of the woodcutter. A wholly nondescript fellow, save for the mark of a ring removed from his finger. Doubtless that ring was his demise. Shiny baubles were a common fixation for Voidsents, but it didn't spare a thought for the owner, only the prize. I suppose we can take comfort in the knowledge that it'll harm no one else. Orcus or not, I'd say this expedition was a success after a fashion. I should apprise the whalers of what's transpired. You two catch some well-earned rest. Thank you kindly, Arnagis. Well then, I'll see you back at headquarters. Nod. So, a funky new enemy type. At least I think, isn't it? Maybe it has been in a dungeon or something before. But I think they're new. I don't recall any viney, ghosty things. Maybe it's in some content that I haven't done. Let me know down in the comments below if you happen to know whether those enemies are new or not. Well, I've done all the 24-man raids. I've done most of the 8-man raids. Maybe we didn't get the satisfaction I promised, but sitting here with our heads in our hands won't do us any good. Let's be happy with one less void scent preying on hapless woodcutters. The only good void scent is a dead void scent. Here. Nothing comes with their endless hugger? Yes, endless hugging ether, but bloodshed and tragedy. We were on the cusp of ending 2 decades of misery. That's how long ago Orcus came into this world, raging like an animal, free from his cage and leaving my family dead in his wake. The grief he's caused since then is immeasurable. No matter where his accursed feet take him, his hunger follows. The realm bleeds to sate it. Of course, we aren't the only ones hunting him, but he's as clever as he is vicious. Not even the finest trackers have been able to keep on his trail for long. Don't lose heart yet, boss. While you were away, I was making the rounds, and I might have found something that'll soon bear fruit. Einig's following up on it as we speak. I swear, someday that man is going to keel over on my account. Still, no one else I'd trust to tell me the difference between truth and hysteria. That being said, his work takes time to do right. Use this chance to hone your skills, and if all goes well, next time we speak, you'll have a golden opportunity to test them. Dark days. Apologies, Demajen, but we're still waiting on Einig's to come through. There's not much for you to do around here until then, unless you have a knack for cleaning. Hermie's good at wheedling out promising stories and whatnot, but getting to the truth of those stories is a craft as delicate as weaving. I'm sure you've seen firsthand how one bad bit of information can lead to elaborate plans coming apart at the seams. Oh yeah. Oh yes, we have. Boss! Calm down, lad. Breathe. What's gotten into you? It's Einig's. Oh shit. He's been murdered. What? Tell me I heard that wrong. I'm afraid not. The brass blades found him half dead, half buried in the sands not bells ago, just lying there like some bloody animal carcass. They're bringing him into Eric's burial chamber as we speak. Frowny frown. He was too fashionable to be murdered. Whoever did this doesn't know the reckoning they've got coming. Before I'm done with them, they'll be begging to crawl back into their mother's womb. I want justice as much as you, I mean, I do, but there's times like these we need to look to the boss for guidance. As you can see, Dema, emotions are running high. I should stay here until everything cools off. Can you let the boss know we're standing by and waiting for a command? Like as not, she's going to pay her respects. Well, shit. Just kill off a main character in the third quest of the quest line. Sorry, Dema, I ain't in the mood for chit chat. Where's the bloody keeper? My lady, prithee, the dead must be left to rest. The dead are going to have one more among them if you don't shut your trap and listen. The brass blades brought in a body not long ago. Show me to it. Ah, yeah, they did it. But are you the deceased family? If not, I'm afraid we cannot. Family? Family? Einig would be like a son to me. Like a son. Ordinarily that would be... He's interred in the innermost coffin. However, I must advise you not to gaze upon the body. That's a very nice white robe. If she insists, then so be it. She's drunk. God damn it, Arnegus. I told you not to go and get yourself. Don't. Dema, this isn't for you. I'm sorry for barging in here for all the bluster. If you can forgive my rudeness, promise me that Arnegus gets sent off well and proper. Of course he shall be. However, if you wish to inter him within the city gates, well, such sought after space comes at no small expense. I don't care what it costs. Just send your man to Lemure's headquarters to collect what you require. Ah, this piece of music always gets me. Demajen, I appreciate you coming to find me. There's someone else I have to speak with first. I'm heading to Stone's Throw. Come along if you please, but come along in silence. That shouldn't be difficult for us. I wasn't expecting this story to be quite so emotional, honestly. This is where Arnegus' dear wife earns a living. Let's get this over with. Oh, he was married. Jesus. I mean, I actually predicted the order of the animations there and I was spot on, and it doesn't make it any better. Arnegus never forgot the debt he owed you. The debt we both owed you. Even so, his loyalty ran even deeper than that. It's a strange thing to look back on the people we were. A decade younger and a lifetime more foolish. Young lovers, proud patriots, blissfully ignorant, returned to Lucas Aminus, the cradle of our people. A triumphant homecoming for the Garleans after centuries in exile. The once mighty invaders had been laid low and driven back whence they came, and it was a banner day when Arnegus was honoured with a post there. The honour and pride quickly faded when we saw the truth of Lucas Aminus. We hadn't just defeated our enemies, we clapped them in irons and condemned them to a life of servitude. Descendants of those who'd driven our ancestors north so many generations ago, made to pay for the crimes of their forebears. The superiors were certainly pleased with the poetry of it all. Arnegus, however, could not simply look away from their suffering, let alone take pleasure in it. Confronted with the reality of the place we could call home, his conscience demanded he take actions. He began cooperating with the resistance, but the eyes of the Frumentarium were all seeing, and before long he was ousted as a sympathiser. It was only by the grace of good fortune that we escaped with our lives. I've often lain awake at night wondering if he'd had outlived his usefulness to the resistance, or perhaps it was a petty senior officer that orchestrated our fall. Regardless of the cause, the outcome was the same. We could never return to the Empire. We fled to Eilsu by way of Radzad Han, the only route open to us. It wasn't soon after stepping foot on the docks of Limsa that your luck ran out, as I recall. Stopped by yellow jackets and accused of being Imperial spies. Aye, but we still managed to make an escape. We ran and ran, terrified that our pursuers would one day catch up to us. That is, until we met you. Had you not taken us under your wing when you did, I shudder to imagine our fate. Ah, your gratitude's the last thing I deserve, lass. If I hadn't sent Arnegus off on my damn's fooled errand, he'd still be alive. It was Orcus that killed him, and no mistake. He died for my vengeance. I can't tell you how sorry I am. No, you needn't apologise. I know. He was happy. As long as he was helping you, he was happy. The blame for his death doesn't rest on your shoulders. It rests on the man, the monster, that murdered him in cold blood. And I expect you to see answers for this crime, for me and for Arnegus. I will, lass. I will. On this I swear everything I have to swear. We need to talk, Demajen. Someone with few prying eyes. Come meet me at the bridge to the north. I owe you an apology, Demajen, for not telling you everything about me and Orcus from the start. I dragged you into a fight against a foe that's cunning, brutal and utterly merciless. I thought with all of us together we'd tip the scales in our favour. This is new music. But I was wrong, and Arnegus paid the price for my hubris. That void scent we tracked in the Black Shroud was like one of Orcus's minions. I was too caught up in my grand scheme to realise it at the time. I should have thought about why it tried to hide that body. A common void scent wouldn't have the guile to bury a kill, but what if Orcus taught it that as a way to throw trackers off its scent and to dangle bait for me and mine? Oh, this is a remix of the Voidarchy stuff, isn't it? Orcus had used that same trick in the past, and he knows that we know it too. By dispatching his minion, we drew his attention. Arnegus was a warning. Orcus doesn't give his prey swift deaths. He toys with them, cuts into them, and savours their screams. That's how I knew he was responsible. It's like a signature, the way he leaves the bodies when he's had his fill. And the only pray Arnegus doesn't take that suffering with him to his next life. Orcus will be coming for you or me next. Not right away though, that'd be giving up the game. He wants us to keep looking over our shoulders, sleeping with one eye open. He'll wear us down without even lifting a finger. And when he finally strikes, we'll be dead on our feet. Playthings for him to do with as he pleases. That won't do. I need to bring the fight to him. No more waiting around for a lead to come to us. It won't be easy, but can I still count on your help? Nod. I'd forgotten how cool the level 79 armour looks. Thank you, Demajen. And if you've got no qualm risking life and limb to fight for Arnegus, to fight for me, then I've got no qualm calling you a member of my family. Palm punching! Family? A curious word, that. Oh, hello. Bloody, it's him, Demajen. Orcus. Such some persistent rats were nibbling at my tail. I should have known by their stench it was you and yours, Drusilla. Or should I call you granddaughter? Shut your mouth, you thrice damned monster. Monster? Is that any way to greet a beloved elder? Children these days. It seems one death wasn't punishment enough for you. A second should suffice for this scant remainder of your being. Demajen, we're ending this here and now. Follow my lead. We're not ending this here and now, clearly. So fancy. Oh, I thought we might savour our reunion for a while longer. But if you insist, I shall feast upon your beating heart here and now. Die! Naught but dregs left in that desiccated vessel of yours. Too long has the hide been left in the sun. But your family has been replenished with fresh blood, I see. My, and what a bounteous soul this one has. A scythe may be dull, but your eye is as sharp as ever. Blinding as the sun, pure as the snow. Delectable as a ball slathered in grease. Lovely. I'd thought to make a quick meal of you, but perhaps just this once forbearance is in order. Such a singular specimen must be given time to fatten, to fulfill its succulent potential. It would be a travesty to consume you ere you achieve perfection. When your soul is ripe with fear, swollen with hatred, and fit to burst with despair, I shall return for you, Demajen, and I shall gorge. Until that time, sup well, my growing whelp. Lovely. What a nice man he is. We could have attacked it then, but we did not. Curse these old bones. It was right in front of me. I could have ended it in one swing. For a moment, just one moment, I saw it all again. My family slaughtered, lying at his feet, my life slipping away, and that was enough. Doubtless you have more than a few questions. I'll answer them, I promise, but now's not the time. Trust me. Standing around kicking the sand won't change what's done. Let's return to HQ and let the wind cool our heads, then we can consider our next course of action. It was my own fault. If I hadn't stood there slack-jawed, if I wasn't so damn slow, we'd be rid of that abomination once and for all. What you saw used to be my grandfather before Orcus took over. He looks green enough to be my own grandchild now. Trick of the void, like as not. No secret that if a void scent doesn't want to devour you, it probably wants to take possession of your flesh. Orcus has a particular talent for it. And as you've doubtless surmised, he's got an insatiable craving for ether. Killing is only a prelude to the act of gulping down our essence like a draught of ale after a day's work. He's old. I can't say exactly how old. And he's acquired a taste for the finer things. Seems your soul counts amongst the finest he's ever seen. Things just keep getting better for us, don't they? Wouldn't be the first time someone set their sights on my soul. Is that so? Used to being a prize pig, are we? Yes. Anyway, it's clear that safety is no longer something we can take for granted, not even in the crowded streets, not even in the middle of the day. Keep your eyes peeled and watch out for those terrible red eyes. We sit in chokeros for the moment. I'll think of something and send for you as soon as I can. Until then, never sleep far from your scythe. I won't. Level 78, thicker than blood. Drusilla seems relieved to see you walk through her door. Glad to see Orcus hasn't sunk his teeth into you yet, Demajen. Don't go thinking he's given up on trying, though. He's out there, savouring you from a distance. Can't resist checking in on his prize, just as he can't resist seeking out morsels to tide him over till his feast. The reports we've received of a man pale as death skulking about the sands is proof of that. And then there's the matter of this blunted dagger. We don't know who sent it, but we do know what it means. It's a warning, commonly used by the less savoury elements in Uldar. A warning that the next will be delivered sharp and straight to our bellies. We'll fool them. They've no notion of what we faced and lived. Think we'd soil our small clothes over empty threats. Let's hope it's nothing more than that, lass, seeing as we need to follow up on these reports sooner than later. Anyone fancy a bit of fresh air? If we catch a whiff of Orcus's foul stench, all the better. Demajen, I want you to ask around near Blackbush Station, and I'll head to Stone's Throw. When you're done, meet me there and we'll share what we've dug up. I kind of feel like that music's now a little bit too upbeat for the story as this unfolded. A loyal lemure. I recognise that self-assured stride. The mark of a woman ready to take on the world and then some. You must be the Eorzean Reaper the boss sent word about. That's me. I'm always disappointed to tell you nothing's amiss. The soldier in me would have loved to see a Reaper in action. I once fought in the Imperial Army, though you wouldn't think it to look at me now. I served proudly under Lord Valens in my youth, until the day he ordered us to use common folk as fodder in some pointless skirmish. I refused and was sentenced to death for my candour. Needless to say, I didn't keep that appointment. Compared to that evil, toothless threats and ghosts are no bother. But the less jades are more excitable. One lass in particular has been jumping at the shadows. She claims to have seen all manner of terrors, but I suspect she was started by her own reflection. Still, if you want to lend an ear to her delusions, you can find her in Lost Hope. Hello? Who are you? Oh, did Drusilla receive my missive? She sent someone to rid us of this terrible evil waiting in the wings. Truly she cares for us, truly she cares for us as if we really were her flesh and blood, which is more than I can say about my own. Not once have I longed to return to that life of comfort I left behind in Garlemald, and I have Drusilla to thank for that. She isn't the reason I left home in the first place, of course. Had I not met my beloved, I'd still likely be feasting on lemon cakes and ignorance. In ignorance of love, freedom. I found the former in Garlemald and the latter in Eorzea, as our new life blossomed into something beautiful. Not every day has been easy, but even most days. Not even most days. But Drusilla's watchful eyes kept us safe, and our freedom is worth any measure of hardship. Such terrible fear gripped my heart when my beloved told me the pale man he spied on the sands. Now that the family has come to help, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm sure you wish to know precisely where to find that horrid creature, but I cannot help half so well as my beloved might. Seek him in the southeast and pray for an end to this nightmare. Okay. I can do that. There you are. Huh. Looks like we're going to have to fight a blood-sucked void scent here. Just a guess. Through devilled mist the hunter doth now tread, tracking the scent of quarry others dread. In darkest night crave for a keeper, low by your side she walks, the Reaper. Not the best poetry. Apologies for the effusive display, friend. I'm a poet, you see, and cannot resist putting into words the flood of emotions that accompany such a striking figure as yours. Hello? Oh no, that's the poet that's saying that. Monster! Quiver. The bloodlust emanating from this void scent is potent and powerful. Best kill him then. Do 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 do. Let's get some help with this because we can. Let's have that. Do 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 do. Let's help this guy while we're here. So we can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My saviour, my godsend. Would that I could have aided you, but alas, a poet's pen is of little use in battle. Unless, of course, that battle involves not swords and scythes, but words. Just ask the sire of my beloved, who is even now licking the wounds dealt by the invective verse I composed after he had the gall to forbid our union. A masterwork of scathing metaphor and subtle remonstration. Alas, for all their pretensions as nobles are anything but subtle in their age. We were forced to flee, to abandon our homes with only our love for sustenance. Nevertheless, I've regretted not a single moment of our life in exile. In Eorzea we found an unexpected treasure. Freedom. Freedom of mind and freedom of hearts. But I digress. Surely you did not seek me out simply to save my life and leave with a nod and a smile. Do you wish to commission a poem? Not really. The Pale Man. I've encountered him whilst wandering these arid wastes in search of inspiration. I felt the gaze of some terrible presence upon my back, and when I turned to meet it, he was standing there grinning like a butcher in a bullpen. He wore robes much too thick for these scorching sands, and his eyes looked as if they'd never been kissed for the blazing sun. Worst of all, I know his skin looked as if worst of all, his eyes were as two bottomless pools of blood. I feared my end had come, but then he vanished as quickly as he had appeared. Perhaps I've been reckless. Recent incidents make it clear that the cost of inspiration is higher than I'm willing to pay. I shall return to my beloved, for both my safety and hers. Thank you again, my saviour. There you are. And some shit happened. Another one of his accursed minions. Well, I suppose we can take comfort in the fact that none of the family come to harm, yourself included. Well done. Speaking of which, what do you think of this family you've been thrust into? Speak freely. I haven't lived this long by taking offence at opinions I don't want to hear. Seems like any other family to me. Seen some odd families there, I reckon. I'd like to think we're one of a kind, though. A collection of cast-offs unfit to live under the Empire's boots. Yours truly included. Much as some enlightened types might tell you otherwise, people like to have a say in the life they lead. That's what separates us from those bugs over there. Wisps. Born queens, workers, drones, bred into roles ingrained so deeply they wouldn't know how to live otherwise, for the glory and prosperity of the hive. But we've got it in us to be different. Might be born into farming, soldiering or politicking, but we can choose to walk a different path whenever the fancy should strike. It ain't in our nature to accept our lot without question. No, we have to believe in something. Put our faith in it. Only then will we deign to march in step. And indeed, faith of a savage stripe is one way to get us dancing to the same tune. Others might be compelled through faith in logic or law, intangible, invisible, yet cause enough for killing and conquering if it suits the Queen. I am it. The invaders have sullied our birthright for 8 centuries. No longer We marched for Locus Amunus. With a few righteous words, his radiant Solus Galvus whipped the hive into frenzy. Once that fire is burning, the passion of the masses can't soon be quelled. What was once a wish for home became a holy mission to spread enlightenment. Enlightenment which would not suffer such beliefs as the beastmen held. Countless scores rendered up their lives on the altar of the Empire, until an entire continent was united under a single Magitech fist. For those who still dream the dream of unity, a deed worthy a song. Yet some awoke to see it for the tyranny it was, my grandfather Rullus included. The talents of the Reapers are passed down through bloodlines. Rullus was the best of us, the most accomplished and feared in the Order's long history. The duty of the Reapers, our role in the hive if you will, was to deliver our countrymen from corrupt and power-hungry tyrants. When Garlemald found religion in conquest, his appetite grew to be insatiable. My grandfather pondered this conundrum for many sleepless nights, and came to a decision. He'd relieve Solus Galvus of his life. Yeah, that's not likely to happen, what with him being an Ascian. "20 years ago he slipped into the deepest chambers of the Imperial Palace, silent as a shadow until he could hear the Emperor's beating heart. Yet when his malice returned to me, Solus was alive and well. My grandfather, on the other hand, had a skittishness to his step, and his black hair had turned a pale white. He said naught of his encounter with the Emperor, save that the most powerful man in Garlemald was no man at all. Shamed in his defeat, my grandfather sought greater power. Bit by bit he gave more of himself over to the void sent behind his avatar. Orcus struck when Rullus was weakest, taking his flesh and soul in one fell swoop. When he was finished, not a mote of my grandfather remained in that body. There was only Orcus. The fiend flew into rapturous frenzy and my family were his first victims. I remember the chill of his teeth sinking into my flesh, gnawing until they reached my very essence. How am I standing here before you then? Ugh, Orcus gorged on a soul that night, but it wasn't mine, not exactly. It was my avatar that filled his belly. Seems that was all he could stomach. Some might consider that a lucky twist of fate. I had little time to ponder my fortune, fled soon as I was able. His radiance never looked kindly on those trying to end his life or their families. I wandered about for years until I settled here and started seeking out others like me, others who'd awoken from the Empire's dream. Lemures is what we call the spirits of the dead in the Garlean tongue, a fitting moniker if ever there was one. Waking up from a long sleep ain't unlike climbing out of the grave. I can attest to that. Son of a bleed, remind me not to give such long-winded speech when the sand's blown in my face. I'm heading back for some ale. See you at HQ. Rather unceremonious end. Now the big question is this going to be enough XP to hit 80? Oop. Welcome back, boss. How was the family? Shaken, but unharmed aside from some tousled hair and mangled verse. Orcus left one of his minions behind as a gift, but Dema made quick work of it. I always said she was a keeper. You have an eye for the fierce of heart. I wager she could slay Orcus all on her own, not that we'd let her take all the glory. Of course we wouldn't. We'll all be there when Orcus tries to take his prize. I don't think we'll be waiting long either. Orcus said he'd strike when Demajen was ripe with fear and hatred and despair, seasonings he's loath to forego. I've an inkling how he might try to draw out those emotions and finish off a half-eaten meal besides. Right you are, Drusilla. Thought so. How many nights did you mourn your lost avatar? The wellspring of your power? I must say it was quite the dish. I think not. Move so much as a finger and her head will hit the floor. Oh, that's it, Demajen. That fire. I want to see it burn. I want to see it rage. I want to see the hatred seep into the depths of your soul. Shall I make this Drusilla's final breath? Or this one? It's so very hard to choose. I was right not to give in to my baser instincts, to allow the thought of your taste to simmer in my mind as you and Drusilla formed a bond, a kinship, even. Born from an understanding of her inconsequential ideals, that you may better appreciate the bitter loss. But perhaps I should wait a while longer, to let the flavour of your hatred mature and the tang of your malice ripen. I can make use of Drusilla, yes, revel in her screams, exult in her misery. Ah, how splendid it will be. All the while my prize piglet growing fat with loathing and succulent with terror. Do I look afraid? Patience rewards the dutiful gourmand after all. When your tantalizing flavour is fully matured, I shall return and I shall reap my harvest. Ha ha ha, reaper puns. Well, that sucks. Ooh, that's stabbing me in the nose. That's not a good look. Oh dear, oh dear. Goddamn void sent bastard, soulless piece of shite. Swive that sudden demon spawn. Hi, that's the spirit. Right, we need a plan. First things first, find out where Orcus is hiding. The rest of the family should be able to help with that. In the meantime, you need to prepare. I know you're good, Dema, but we can't leave the boss's life to chance. Sharpen your skills and your scythe, and sharpen them once more. The boss can do naught against Orcus without her avatar. That means you'll have to do the heavy lifting. Of course, I'll do what I can to afford you an advantage. You can count on that for Drusilla. Phew. Perchance to dream. There we go. I was able to buy some little bits and pieces. Wonderful. Right. I mean, we're going to get a set of fancy clothes. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, but we are going to get some questy items. Questy spells. Yes, those. The killing art. Can I get my hands on him? Oh, listen, we've found out where the boss is being held, but I'm warning you, the harbour isn't pretty. An envelope arrived at HQ this morning. I opened it and inside was shite. Inside was a letter written with blood. There's no doubting whose it was. Orcus is reveling in his own cruelty. The letter said he's waiting for us at the dusk vigil. God knows what he's doing to her now. It's an interesting place, dusk vigil. I've called on every able-bodied member of the family for this one. We're heading out as soon as everyone's assembled. We're here, Herman, and more waiting outside. We're ready to repay the debt we owe Drusilla with our lives if we must. With souls courageous, hearts of hardened steel, for leaders' sake, for family's ideal, into the demon's lair they shall soon tread, to end his terror foul, his reign of dread. How beautiful. The boss would beam with pride to see this group of cold-blooded killers. Alright, Demajen, we're ready when you say the word. Nod. This is a job for a Reaper and a Reaper alone. What? Now, we might not hold a candle to the likes of you, but we've got skills. Don't need someone to distract Orcus, right? Then you can move him for a kill when he's back his turn. Don't tell us to stay here with our thumbs up our asses while the boss is suffering. Drusilla wouldn't want you throwing your lives away. What do you know about what she wants? I mean, listen. Maybe she's right. I know she's right, goddammit. Doesn't mean it doesn't chafe. The boss wouldn't just trust anyone with a Reaper's arts, and Demajen has proven herself worthy time and again. If you're going alone, take that with you. For the boss, no self-respecting Reaper can reap without the scythe. Now, go make Orcus rue the day he crossed into this world. Rousing music for the battle. I'm so croaky that this sounds great. Oh, I think I'm going to have to go back to bed after this. Yes, I know what the time says. I'm all over the place, don't worry about it. Wait at the designated location near Banepool. Oh yeah, Dusk Vigil's this one. I was thinking of Stone Vigil for some reason. I mean, neither make huge amounts of sense actually to me. Right. It's a solo duty. Because of course it is. Level 80. Item level 525. Didn't actually check what we've got. It's not 525. Hello? There you are, Demajen. My prize repast, come forwards. How did you get this number? Seriously, how did you get access to our link pearl? That doesn't make a huge amount of sense. I love the fact that we are swinging that scythe around like it weighs nothing. Drusilla. Wait. Giddy. Ooh, that was some nice motion captured. Oh, yeah, hand animated, one or two. I can smell it. Your fear, your hatred. Your tender marbled soul, my masterpiece, ripe for the slaughter. I'll savor every bite. Strip the flesh from your bones, cracked. Oh. They just wanted to show that animation again, didn't they? How I hungered, how I thirsted, enraptured by the thought of your sweet essence trickling down my throat, you lovely man. Lovely image. Never have I suffered so in waiting, but in beholding your magnificence I see it was worth every agonizing pang. I do not expect you to leap into my maw willingly, nor do I desire it. I want you to writhe and struggle into your dying breath. Do 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 do. Focus Inferni. Oh, don't stand in the puddles. Oops. Yeah, so these things will explode if we don't kill them in time. Which I assume will kill us. Bullshit. Ow. That was indeed a meaty slice. Oh. Ah, very good. Defiance becomes you. Though it begins to bore me. Noise, rather. 'Tis past time you bared your belly for my blade. Prey's sole purpose is to satisfy. Catch this massive scythe! My word, your aim is terrible. Yeah. How did he not see that coming? Ugh. How? There should be nothing left of you. Should have learned to chew your food more thoroughly. Fools! The both of you. I won't die so easily. Now our feast begins. That is not creepy at all, Demajen. You keep going on about my soulmate, but do 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 Void core. Oh, hey guys. Ah, you guys got nothing. What the hell is a void mortar? I love the fact that Drusilla is just completely ignoring the mechanics. Oh, I've let Shadow of Death fall off because I'm bad. This is a cool fight. I like this. Ooh. That was a bit awkward placement wise. Yeah, you're out of here, Orcus. Gah! No! No, Gah! Gah, no! Cat, no! Off with his head. Ugh. Wheeze? No. The honour is yours, Drusilla. Thank you, Demajen. Dripping with fear, boiled in hatred, I can still smell its exquisite aroma. Just a taste. Nice. Fairly nice. It's done. Let's get back to headquarters, Demajen. I like how the cloth of his hood flew off. Obviously, they can't in this actually show somebody being decapitated to keep the age rating, but it was very, very obvious what had happened there. Hey guys, look who's home. Boss? Demajen? Yeah. Well done, us. Sorry for causing you all no end of worry. Tracking me down, you risked life and limb, and for that I thank you. All of you. We didn't risk anything. We just sat here praying until you and Demajen walked through that door. Don't be so hard on yourself, lass. I know each and every one of you would have joined her if she hadn't talked some sense into you. We owe you our lives, boss. We owed it to you to return the favour. Ah, you're more than I deserve. Who forces them they hold dear into a personal vendetta? Who leads family to their death? Alargus was no fool. He knew and accepted the risks. He placed his faith in you because he believed Orcus had to be stopped. And he was right. There'll be no more victims to mourn. He helped you to achieve that victory. It'd be enough for him, and it'd be enough for me. You're right. This ain't the time for sulking. Alargus would be the first to tell me that. Now is the time to honour his sacrifice, to toast those we've lost and those still by our sides. And to thank the brave souls that led us here. That means you, Demajen, much as I'd like to take credit for Orcus's demise. It was a long, bloody road, but this marks the end of your first assignment as a Reaper. And what an assignment it was, eh? You might not be Garlean, but you tackled the task with a singular resolve that impressed the most ardent soldier. I'm proud to call you family. We may have founded the Lemures to provide a home for wayward Garleans, but we're not so different. Garleans and Eorzeans, no great revelation that, but moments like these help to put it all in perspective. This family was a dream that gave us the strength to survive in a strange land. But the beautiful thing about dreams, if you ask me, is that they can change. They can get better. So I say that from this day forward, the Lemures will be united not by origin but by purpose. Brothers and sisters bound by shared convictions. I don't think anyone will object to that, boss. The Lemures are ready to welcome people of all stripes. Starting with you, Demajen. That was all but official already, eh? Hi, Here's to the birth of a new family, sister. Hehe. Chest patting. What a day it's been, eh? Hope it'll be a while yet before I've occasion to yammer on that much again. Too much talk is liable to put me in a sentimental mood, or worse, make me dewy-eyed. So let's leave it at that, eh? You ever get weary from the weight of the world on your shoulders, know that our doors will always be open. And if you need an ear to bend, a shoulder to weep on, or a stiff bottle to jump inside, I'll be right here, sister. So we're going to get the Shroud Gauge trait and Enshroud. As the Avatar sups upon the souls of fallen foes, your bond with blah 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 blah. Death Gauge unlocked. And we've now got 2 bars. Manus Exite Paterni. Right. The Shroud Gauge signifies the strength of your bond with your avatar. When the gauge is sufficiently filled, you can execute Enshroud to temporarily serve as a host to your avatar. Once enshrouded, the Death Gauge will display the time remaining to play host to your avatar, as well as your stacks of Lemure Shroud, which are consumed to use powerful attacks such as Void Reaping and Communio. The Soul Gauge can be filled by the execution of certain weapon skills, or by defeating enemies afflicted with Death's Design. That's the Soul Gauge. This is the Shroud Gauge. So we've got Enshroud there, 15-second cooldown. Allows you to gain maximum stacks of Lemure Shroud. 15-second recast. Not entirely clear on how that's working. Also interesting, she doesn't have any more quests for us. Though I suppose that makes sense because we're now level 80. Next step then is to go to the Ondo Cups and grab our gear, which I assume will be here. No. Enough of that attempting to quote unquote sing when you sound like this, Dema. I assume there's a set of 80 gear for us. And I've done the vault quest. I've done the vault quest, so physical DPS. Demon Slicer. Harvester's Blinder. Harvester's Coat. Harvester's Dressing. Harvester's Trousers. Harvester's Boots. Now obviously I mean I don't have enough. No. You mean I don't have enough because I don't have enough. Well, this looks just like the Doesn't this look exactly the same as the starter stuff? Where's it gone? Oh, I probably put it in the I put it in the what's it, didn't I? The glamour dresser. So let us go and see whether it is exactly the same. don't mind if it is. Yeah, it's a cool look, so I ain't gonna complain. Right. Do. Alright, Reaper. Ooh, that's Bloodborne as fuck. Nice. Demajen likes that. Demajen doesn't really like the weird eye thing, though, to be fair. What I'd really like is some kind of mouldering top hat, so I could really look like Gurman, but don't think we're going to get that. There we go then. Reaper at 80. Excellent. Looking very cool. Let's go out into the daylight. Hiss, it burns. Now I get to go and do some fates, and more fates in order to get to 81. And then I can do other bits and pieces. Sweet. So that, folks, has been a very croaky Demajen. Sorry about that. Not a lot I could do. Very croaky Demajen doing the 73, 75, 77. No, it wasn't that, was it? 73, 75, 78, and 80. Something like that. Reaper quest lines. They were cool. I enjoyed them. The final fight was really good. Yes. I should probably go and start the role quest at some point as well for Endwalker. But as you can probably tell from the fact that there's no camera and I sound like shit, I'm waiting until I'm better. Happy Endwalking, folks. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.